All right, in college algebra today, we're looking at exponential functions, but mainly focusing on graphing, section 4.2b. All right, when you have exponential graphs, there's three things you're really concerned about. Your 2 points and the asymptote. That's your three things. Now, if you remember the 2 points, you have 0, 1 always, and then you have 1, in this case 2, because my base number is 2 right here. These numbers here are always the same. So if this was 5 to the x power, this would be 1, 5. When you graph this, of course your asymptote is on the x-axis. And then your 2 points, you have 0, 1, and you have 1, 2. And you can see the transition, how it's headed towards this axis right here. That means my tail is going to be right here to the left, and it curves through those points and does this right here. Make it a little darker. This is what the exponential graph looks like. Your tail is over here to the left, and then it goes up over here on the right. Okay? But you have transformations that happen. So here's what your transformations look like. First, you have shift. You have horizontal shift, which means you have a plus or minus number in the exponent. And you have a vertical shift, which means your plus or minus number is not in the exponent. You have to know the difference between these. This is horizontal shift, which is going to make it go to the left. If this was a negative, it'd go to the right. This is a positive, which means it goes up. The vertical shift does what it says. Okay, which is just like all the other graphs. Then we have reflection, which we'll look at a lot on these. When you have a reflection, you either have a negative in front of the 2, which is a vertical reflect, in front of the base number, or you have a negative in front of the variable, which makes a horizontal reflect, which is over the y-axis. This right here is a reflect where the tail is still to the left, but then it goes downward instead of going upward. That's what this reflection looks like. This one has a reflection that looks like this. The tail is over here to the right, and it goes up to the left that way. Okay, so that's what the reflections look like. And sometimes you have both. Anyway, we'll look at these problems on here. Number 1. Okay, which graph is the correct one? You see the answer here is D, but looking at it, all we have is this negative in front. That's a reflection, which is a vertical reflect, which is going to reflect over the x-axis, which means my tail is going to stay to the left. You can see here my tail to the left, but it goes down. This is my answer right here. This is the normal graph. This has this would be 4 to the negative x, like that. That's what this one would be, because the tail's to the right. So it's a reflect over the y-axis. And this one, look, the tail's to the right, but it's going down. This has both. So this would be something like this with a negative in front of the 4 and a negative. This has both reflections there. But the answer to this problem was D. Okay. All right, here's one. We've got some shift. This plus 4 means it's going to go to the left 4. All right, which graph does that? It looks like this one, A. And of course, that's what the answer is down here, A. You can kind of see what you're looking for on this is where the asymptote is and the point that's 1 up. Now this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 2s, so the point that's 1 up is right there, and that's the 0, 1 point that I'm telling you about. It's 1 up from the asymptote, and so this you can see has gone this way. This has gone up. This one's gone to the right. This right here would be 3 to the x minus 4 power. Is what that would be. Or this would be 3 to the x and then plus 4 out here to the side like that, because it's gone up. Okay? All right, what do we have here? All right, we got minus 4, which means it's going to go this way to the right 4, which looks like B, and that's right B. Okay? This one here. All right, now see the minus 4 here to the side? That means it's going to go down 4. Okay, which looks like this one. It's going down 4. Now this one looks like it's gone down 4, but see how the tail's over here to the right? That's a reflection too, so that would be this same thing right here but it'd be like a negative 4 to the x minus 4. That's what this one would be. Okay, number 5. All right, we got 2 to the x plus 3. That's going to make it go up 3, which looks like this one. Okay, see, it's gone up 3. This one has reflected, but it's gone up 3, but it's reflected. So that would be like negative 2 to the x plus 3. That's what that would be. This one looks like it's gone down, so it looks like 2 to the x minus 3. This one's gone down, and it's also reflected. Okay. Right here, we got 4. All right, we got 2 transformations. We're going to the left 2, and we're going down 3. Okay. Now, this one has reflection. You know it's not this one or this one because it's the tail's going down. That's reflection. We don't have reflection in this because there's no negative. All right, so it looks like this is B right here, B, because we're going to the left 2, and we're going down 3. Okay, you can see that on this. B's my answer. Some of the graphs in a minute are blown up a little better. We'll be able to look at that a little bit deeper. Okay, on this one, all we have here is we got a negative in front, which is reflection, so it's going to have the tail going down like this. The tail to the left, but it's going to be going down, which looks like all 4 of these. Okay, but now what we got here, this minus 1, that means it's going to go to the right 1. So how can you tell which one goes to the right 1? All right, so what you're looking at on this, your asymptote is right here, so 1 below is the point we're looking at normally. Since it's going to the right, it should be over 1 and down 1. So over 1 and down 1 is where this point should shift to. See, normally, like I said a while ago, this is 0, 1, 0, 1, which is up here, but it's reflected because of the negative in front, so it should be 0, negative 1. But it's going to move to the right 1, so it should be 1, negative 1. I may have said 1, 1 a while ago, but 1 and negative 1 looks like B right here. See, this does not have 1, negative 1 on it. Neither does this one, neither does that one. Number 9, or this one would be a little easier to look at because you can see the graph a little bit better because it's blown up some. Which one of these equations is the correct one for the graph here? Okay, so looking at this, first thing I noticed, the asymptote has gone down 5 units. So I should have a minus 5 out to the end. So here's a minus 5, there's a minus 5. It's got to be one of those two. It's not those. All right, next thing I look at where my asymptote is, the value that's 1 up from my asymptote, which looks like right here. See how my asymptote, this value is 1 up from the asymptote, which is the 0, 1 point, which is usually on the axis right here. So you could see it's shifted back this way too, which means I should have a plus 2 in the exponent. So there's my answer right there. A. And I think you could have seen it down here the whole time it was A. Okay, number 10. Okay, we already see the answer is A on this one, but looking at this, see my asymptote has gone up 3. So it means I'm going to have a plus 3 here. So it's one of these first two. It's neither one of those. It's gone up 3, plus 3. Okay, now look for the point that's 1 up from the asymptote, and it's clearly this one. See my asymptote and going up 1, right there's where it is. Usually it's on the axis, which means it's gone back this way 1, which means I'm going to have a plus 1 in the exponent. So there it is, A. It's got a plus 1. And like as we said, that was the answer at the beginning. Okay, number 11 here. Okay, my asymptote has gone up 3, so I should have a plus 3. Nope, nope, yep, it's one of those two. All right, now this thing's reflected. You can see the tail is still to the left, but it's going down, which means I should have a negative out in front, which I do on both of these. Actually, all 4 of them had the negative in front. Now, look for the point that's one below the asymptote, which is right there. How much has that gone over? It's gone over 3, which means I should have a plus 3 in the exponent right here, A. Okay. Right here on this one, you can clearly see the asymptote has gone up 2, so I should have a plus 2. So this is only 1. That's got to be it. These are all minus 2. Okay, now you can see the tail. See how the tail is over here to the right? That means I've got a negative in front of my x up here because that reflects over the y-axis horizontally. And then 13, okay, my asymptote has gone up 2, so I should have a plus 2. Well, that's the only one. It's got to be that one because there's no plus 2's there. Now, if you notice on this one, see how my tail is to the right? And it's going down, so I have 2 reflections going on in this graph. So I've got a negative in front of the 2 and a negative in front of the x. That's it. Okay. Now I'm going to shift to the computer on this for this next couple problems. Okay, get her lined up. All right. We're going to graph this one right here, 3 to the x plus 4. I hope you can see that okay. I'll tell you what, let me see if I can raise it just a little bit, make it a little bit better, a little bit bigger. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click the graph, and you're going to tell it, this is the exponential one right here, exponential tool, you see it. So I'm going to click on that, and then I click the graph again, and anywhere, it don't matter where, and the box comes on. And all we're going to do is we're going to relay what we have here onto the box. We've got a base of 3, which it says it down here. There's the 3. And then we've got this plus 4. Now, what is this plus 4 here? Well, that's vertical shift. It's going to go up 4. So my vertical shift right here, you just kind of grab it, and then it should go plus 4. There you go. And then well, where's my submit? Okay. I don't see my submit button. All right, well, we'll go to the next one. You're also going to do domain and range on this. I don't know what's happened to me. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm going to go to the next one. Maybe that just show up here. Okay. We're not getting anything on this next one. Oh, here it is. We're going to graph this one. So I click the graph, and I'm going to do an exponent tool, and I click the graph again, and then my box comes on. And I've got a base of 3, which is what I have here, and I've got plus 4, which means we're going to go horizontal 4 to the left, to negative 4. So my horizontal I'm not seeing it on there. There it is. Come on now. I'm going to go 4 horizontal shift. Okay. And I'm not seeing how to hit submit. I don't know. It was working earlier as I practiced. Okay, well, we'll look at my domain and range. My domain, every one of these, the domain, right on there. There's my domain every time. Every one of these exponentials, that's the domain. Okay, now what's the range? Range is up and down. If you look on this, the tail, you look where the tail is, which is on 0, and it goes from 0 to infinity. And there's no parentheses. So on this one, the range will be 0 to infinity. No brackets on it. It's always parentheses. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Okay, now on this one, we're going to click the graph. We're doing the exponent. Okay. And then we click the graph again, and the box comes on. Now this time we got a base of 2, so I got my 2 down here. There's a negative in front, which is a reflection over the x-axis. So there's a check there for that. And then I got this plus 5, which is going to shift to the left 5, which is a horizontal shift. So we're going to click on this, and I'm going to go to negative 5. There you go. All right. And now what's my domain and range? Domain, automatically my domain is this. Now my range is going to be different this time. What would it be? Well, look where your asymptote is up here. That's the highest value. This goes from negative infinity, so it goes all the way down negative infinity, all the way up to 0. So this one would be negative infinity to 0. That's what this one would be. I'm sorry, I can't click it on there. I don't know what's going on, but I don't have time to try to figure it out on the video. Okay, here's one 11 to the negative x. All right, click the graph. You're going to do the exponent. Click the graph again. The box comes on. We've got 11x. That's the base, 11. All we have here is the negative in front of the x, which is a horizontal reflect, which is a reflect over the y-axis. So I just click that right there. Okay. Now looking at the graph here, you see what it does. The domain, negative infinity to positive infinity. The range, this looks like it goes from 0, where the asymptote is, to infinity. So it'd be 0 to infinity. Okay. There's 2 more of these. All right, here's one that's got a few more things to it. All right, so click the graph. Exponent, click the graph, the box comes on, the base is 3, so we got the 3. We've got 2 shifts going on. We've got this minus 3, which is 3 to the right, so that's a horizontal shift to the right 3, so I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go to the right 3, positive 3, there you go. Then I got this vertical shift up 1, which is plus 1, so I'm going to do my vertical shift there and go plus 1. There you go. And there's my graph. Right there you can see a little bit of it. My domain, negative infinity to positive infinity. My range starts at the asymptote here at 0. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not 0. This is 1. It goes from 1 to infinity. And then one last one. This is number 19. Click the graph. Click this. Click the graph again. The box comes on. We've got a base of 2, so my base of 2 right there. All right, we got this plus 1, which is horizontal shift, which is going to go to the left 1. So on horizontal shift, I'm going to go minus 1 here. There we go, minus 1. And my vertical, I've got a minus 2, which is going to go down 2. So I want a minus 2 there. And there you go. There's my graph right there. You can see my domain, negative infinity, positive infinity every time. But my range, where the asymptote is, it's negative 2 to infinity. Okay. So that's it. College algebra graphing. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have a good rest of the day.